have 9 a.m.
Good morning, everyone. It's 9 a.m. and we'll begin our November 14th County Commission meeting with flag salute. And Commissioner Gable, will you lead us? Please stand. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Couple housekeeping things before we go. If you do have a cell phone, please silence it or turn it off. If you do get a call and you need to take it, please step out into the hall to the rotunda area, and so you don't disturb the rest of the meeting. Also, this meeting is being streamed live, so if you do wish to approach or visit or talk to the board, you will probably just be noted that you will be on live camera, and it is streamed. So just a heads up.
Make a motion to approve the agenda.
We have a motion to approve today's agenda.
Second that.
Is there a second?
Yes.
Is that Commissioner Gable? Any discussion? All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Item number 3, action to approve the minutes
Move
of the
to approve
November
as
7th
emailed.
meeting.
Second.
Motion by Hatton, second by Gable. Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. We'll go right to the reports this morning. The auditor is here, so Cindy, what you got for us?
We have sent our levies to the Department of Revenue, waiting to hear back on approval of those for property taxes collectible in 2018. State auditors are just about finished up in my back office. I think they should be out of here maybe the end of this week. We are watching year-end budgets that are going to need supplementing. We have several that are going to need some commissioner's contingency. Our court-appointed attorney budget, I'll kind of go over those when we approve the bills. And spent 2 days last week at an election school put on by the Secretary of State's office in Pierre. There's a few new campaign finance reporting laws that take effect January 1st. One of them is where previously anybody on this board, I had to have you fill out a financial interest statement, just listing what your main source of revenue was, things like that. I used to have you do that just, when you were elected. There's a law change that you have to fill that out every year from now on. So I'll be giving you that report to, I believe it came from the legislature. I don't know why, but that is something new. So I'll be passing those out to you in the next week or so you can have them ready to file with me in January. It's no big deal, not a big thing, but other than that, it's just day-to-day business.
All right. Any questions? Any comments for Cindy? All right. Director of Equalization, Shauna, come on up. Come on forward. Morning, Shauna.
Good morning.
Morning.
Morning, Shauna.
Take the mic.
We are working on all of our sales through November 1st. For any of the newer ones, if you don't remember, our cutoff date for sales is the 1st of November. Our cutoff date for basically everything, our assessment cutoff is the 1st of November. And so we are working at getting those sales through, excuse me. The Department of Revenue will be here. Holy cow, hi. Good. I'm sorry.
Yeah, see what the other guy looks like?
The Department of Revenue will be here on the 28th of this month of November to go through and do our sales audit that we do every year. They had been doing two, a mid-year audit and an end-year audit, but again, we have another new auditor this year. He's actually been around for quite a while, but we are doing just one for the counties that are doing pretty good, which is like us. So basically, he comes in the office, he sits down, he looks through all the sales, but they have them all. uploaded that they look at prior, but then they come in and actually look at the notes and stuff that are on ours and make sure that we're doing what we're supposed to do and the sales match up, our paperwork matches up with what's online. And then the appraisers have started going out and doing their building permits. And then I am working on the assessment intentions that are due prior to January 1. And that's just what we are going to do with our assessments, increase, decrease, leave them alone for the 2018 year.
Okay, any questions for Shauna?
So, Mr. Chairman?
Yes.
So when you do the building permits, that's when you get the building permits from the city and the county? and
Yep,
just
we
say
get them
what-
from the city basically all year, and we take our cards, but it's, whatever was done as of the 1st of November. So basically, once we get done with our reappraisal, the end of October, beginning of November, that's when we go and start all the ones that we've gotten throughout the year.
So you're basically going out to the homes and see what was done and if
Yep,
the value.
yep,
is- yeah.
additions,
Yeah.
remodeling, things like that, decks, garages.
All right, anything else? All right, thank you, Shauna.
All right,
Thanks,
thanks.
Shauna.
Item number 5, action on a request to temporary lease office space for state staff in the office of the courthouse health nursing department. And that is a request that we just got. And it's,
They will have representation, so I guess we'll just have to skip over that. There
We'll come
is
back to
somebody
it?
coming in, yeah.
they are going to come in?
Yep,
All
and
right.
then number 6, that was a what if Milo had the time to get the specs ready. So we'll skip over that until he comes up,
Okay.
because I haven't seen anything on that yet.
All right, let's go to number 7 then. Steve is here. Action to approve the purchase of a scissors lift.
Well, that
A
was for
scissor-
Milo.
Oh, that is
That
for
was
Milo.
also for Milo.
Oh,
He,
yeah.
he
Well, we'll-
presented that to you last
Yep.
week, but it wasn't on the agenda. I have not received any other information on that. You might want wait till he comes.
Yeah,
If he
let's
comes
wait
up.
till he gets here, because I think it's $3,000 or something like that.
It was over the $2,000
Yeah.
equipment purchase, but
Mr. Chairman?
Yes.
Steve, a question. Have you had any correspondence with Milo as to the condition or anything of that?
It might need batteries. Don't know the year of it, but it does fold down. And he got the dimensions and stuff like that, but the top rack does fold down.
It's an electric,
It's electric, yep, and it's the hard rubber one for
hard surface.
hard surface, yep.
Okay, well, we'll wait till Milo comes up and he can fill us in. Let's go to number 8, action to approve the auditor's account with the treasurer. Then,
these are the cash and cash items that were on hand as of the last day of October. You can see it's a large amount. This is probably the largest collection month that we have out of the year, with the second half property taxes being due that day. So shows you the cash that was on hand, where our funds are deposited within our bank account, and then also fund breakdown from the general fund special revenue. Trust and agency funds that is basically pass-through money that goes from us to somebody else. And then we also just need to note the Register of Deeds fees for the month of October, which were $29,848.
Move to approve.
Second.
we have a motion by Hatton, a second by Waterman. Is there any discussion, any questions for Cindy on that report? Seeing none, all in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign, motion carries. Number 9, Cindy, action to transfer commissioner's contingency to planning and zoning budget. I don't know if I've ever seen us transfer to that fund before. We have too many meetings.
Well, I think this may be a direct result of, was it
The ordinance.
the ordinance
Yeah.
being referred and extra publications and hours for the zoning officer. Anyway, I've been working with Luke. He gave me an estimation for what to expect for bills in November and December. He thinks $6,250 will get him through the end of the year. If that's not enough, then we'll just have to do another supplement, at the end of December. But for now, he's giving me that number to come from Commissioner's contingency to the zoning budget.
I'll make that motion.
We have a motion by
Second.
Van Dusen, a second by Waterman. Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign, motion carries. We will transfer those funds. Action to approve claims for payment.
So it's the second Tuesday of the day of the month that we normally pay all of our claims. Total claims were $1,007,882.65. Of that amount, $446,254.91 goes to the state of South Dakota for, and other entities that were pass-through monies that came through the county. County bills amount to $561,627.74. I have highlighted a couple of things. On page 4, the collection agency budget at the top, that's another budget that's going to need to be supplemented based on what they're collecting for us. So that's basically a good thing. They're collecting more than we anticipated. So in December, I anticipate having to supplement that budget a little bit to get us through the end of December. On page 5, the court-appointed attorney budget, we are spending $8,100 this month. That is pushing that budget over. So next Tuesday, I will be asking for Commissioner's contingency to supplement that budget. That's kind of one of the unknowns. We never know what we're going to have. What I'm going to do with this one is I'm going to supplement it just enough so that we are zeroed out at the end of November. And then when December bills come in, I'll do another supplement so I'm not wasting Commissioner's contingency on a budget that I don't know how it's going to, what kind of bills we're going to get in December. But we belong to the Catastrophic Legal Pool. That is our fourth quarter payment right there to the South Dakota Association of County Commissioners, right below the court-appointed attorney payment. That's $5,844.03, which protects us if we have a catastrophic court-appointed attorney case, which we very well could in the next year. I think we have to pay the first $20,000 or $25,000 up front, and then we get reimbursed for everything else through this CLRP is what it's called.
Excuse me, Cindy. When you say out of this pool, all members that pay into it can collect out?
Correct.
How much money does anybody have any idea how much money they've got as a reserve?
That's funny. I sit on a board where they adjudicate the claims. I don't know what's in the pool.
Yeah,
but
I
it's
don't
gotta
know what
be-
they do have for balance
it's gotta be
right now.
enough. I mean, you're covering counties that have hundreds of thousands of dollars.
Yeah.
Like if you have a murder trial in your county, that's
Right.
kind of the thing
Yeah.
we're talking about.
I don't
And
believe
so-
the big counties belong to this because I think that would be a burden on the smaller counties
Yeah.
that do belong to it. We're probably one of the larger counties or average size county that belongs to it. No, I can't tell you what's in that
It's-
account balance.
I could check on that
Murder
for you.
trial
I could
costs
actually
a
get
lot
that
of
for you.
money.
Yeah, it does. I mean, it can jump to $90,000 and we pay the first 25,000 and then I think we get 80% back or 90% back.
It's
So
probably more than- Yeah, some of them
It's
were more
good
than that.
insurance.
Yeah.
Thank you.
County.
it has helped us
Thank you.
in recent years.
It's a lot of counties.
On page 10, towards the bottom of the page, there is the furnace and ductwork that needed to be done at the Ag Building. That was something that you previously approved, $16,150. On page 11, a bill to Muth Electric for the wiring of the new building, the new storage building that you approved out also at the extension. Also on page 11, towards the bottom, that is our joint cooperative agreement with the first district that we budget for annually, and we pay that based on, I think it's census, and there might be one other factor in there.
And that's actually has a 10-year plan. It's already been figured out.
It's built in,
Yeah.
yes. And we do sign a contract with them once a
Yeah.
year, so that has previously
Cindy,
been
that,
approved.
that is 1 year? That's a
Yes,
1 year
that's
amount?
1 year contract, yep.
Okay.
On the bottom of page 12, and then again at the top of page 13, if you add the $50,000 to the $40,000, that was for the roof repairs at the highway department that we took bids for. So that was a bid project. And that's all I've got unless you have some questions.
Yeah, any questions for Cindy?
Move to approve the
We have a motion
Claims.
to approve
Second.
the
claims.
claims and a second by Van Duzen. Any other questions, any comments? All in favor indicate by saying aye.
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 Opposed, same sign, motion carries.
I was just gonna make a quick comment, Mr. Chairman.
Yes.
That first entry, where it says Borman Cruz Fogel, that's VKV, so that's that first amount there.
In the commissioner's budget on page 1.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah, on the claims.
Yeah.
That's the first payment for the architect,
For the new
courthouse remodel.
agreement, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
just so people are aware of that.
All right, let's back up then. Let's go to number 6, action to approve a notice to bidders for Tuck Point painting at the courthouse. Milo, you weren't here
I
before?
didn't know if you had gotten that together, or the tuck pointing?
I have.
Okay.
And then we'll do the scissors lift, which is number 7 right away too, Milo, okay?
The request to put out notices for courthouse masonry preservation, maintenance, and repair. This gets to be kind of a long document. I can have this available for your inspection. Just to kind of briefly touch on it, what the scope of work would be power wash the stone masonry to remove surface dirt and expose defective joints, tuck point all damaged mortar joints, install flexible caulk around the perimeter of all the windows, install flexible caulk in all the coping sill and water table joints, caulk all the construction joints, install flexible caulk in all the staircase walls, in the vertical and horizontal stone-to-stone joints, the step-to-stone joints, and the stone deck joints. Install flexible caulk in the vertical stone masonry to decorative stone panel joints. Install flexible caulk in the joint between the stone masonry and storm door at grade level. Power wash the brick masonry, and this would be up on top of the courthouse on the inside of the parapet. Lost my place. Power wash brick masonry to remove surface dirt and expose defective joints. Tuck point damaged mortar joints and replace defective brick units. So it's pretty comprehensive look at the entire building, really is what it is.
We've had a portion of the building done previously, haven't we?
We have had some work done.
Now, this work will be done next spring, next summer?
And this work will be advertised to be done next summer.
Sure. So it's in next year's budget?
Correct.
Okay.
Is a budgeted item for next year. This is ready to go. This would be the specifications that we actually hand out. The only thing left on here is grammar or spelling check.
Sure.
I don't have the bidding notice ready yet, to put in the paper, but that's a relatively short thing Cindy and I can work on.
Yep.
Tentatively, I had set up a first reading date of January 9th, and action on the bids on the following meeting of January 16th. We can still play with those dates a little bit.
Okay, yep. Once we get the notice to bidders created, then
Right.
we can.
Okay, so right now, we're looking for a motion to...
Make the motion.
Okay, we have a motion by Commissioner Gable, second by Waterman. Any more discussion? Any questions for
Just
Milo?
a quick
Go
curiosity
ahead.
question, Mr. Chairman. So is this the first time the courthouse has been like a comprehensive tuck pointing project?
I can't answer that. In my history, yes. And I don't know if this was done, back in the 70s when they did a lot of the interior
I think it
work.
was done prior to Milo taking over, but I can't tell you for sure when that was.
Just curious.
I
Not that big deal.
mean, just the age of the building, it had to have had something done
probably.
before. Yeah.
Good. Hopefully that, if you look at the exterior, you'll see it's really dark on the top, and hopefully that'll clean that up, and
Yep.
it should do that. Be nice. Any other questions, comments? All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign, motion carries. Okay, let's talk about a scissors lift.
Okay, the scissor lift, I have located a scissor lift out at the Western Federal Surplus site. which we can pick up for $3,000. They were unable to determine how old that it actually is, so they couldn't find any information on it about age. The deck itself is 4 foot wide by 7.5 foot long. Height is 94 inches with the railing. The railing will fold down and make it 77 inches high. Other than that, the charger does work on it. It is electric with rechargeable batteries. To rent something like this, we're looking at about $175 a day. And to actually go out and buy one, we're probably at $20,000 starting point anyway.
Who is the vendor?
Help me out with that, Steve. What do they call it?
Department of, surplus.
Federal surplus? The state, okay,
Yeah.
all right, okay.
And that's the one that Steve will pick up en route back with
Correct.
his new truck,
Yep.
okay?
We're leaving that in, that Steve to do the inspecting, if I understand that, and if he determines it's a piece of not qualified material, then we'll be
Then we'll leave it
vacating
set
the
there.
premises and coming home without a load.
We'll use the term loosely, kick the tires, because I understand they're solid rubber. So
Don't get it very hard.
don't hurt your foot.
How much did you say they were new, Milo?
Pardon?
New price is,
New price is $20,000 range.
All right, you've
What,
heard the,
excuse me,
Yes.
Mr. Chairman, what, assuming that it's gonna need new batteries, what will they cost?
It's 4 batteries, probably $100 and a quarter
a piece.
a piece.
So a couple $100 a piece to be on the outside,
Yeah,
so another $800 to $1,000 for
Be
batteries.
similar to golf cart batteries.
yeah, it's
Yeah,
exactly what it is.
And I'm not trying to jack the price or anything
Yeah.
like that, I just,
Yep,
there's always little doodads and whatnots, and how comes that the mice have chewed on a wire or something.
yep.
Yeah. All right. Any more discussion? Any more questions?
move to approve purchase of
We have
the
a motion
scissor lift.
approved by Hatton, a second by Waterman. All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. There you go. Steve and Milo,
Thank you.
it's in your hands.
Thanks, Milo.
Thank you. All right, let's go on to number 11 now. That's action to
Yes, I
Action
wasn't sure,
to-
but yeah.
correct automatic budget supplement from September 5th. There's a correction to be made. Cindy?
Actually, it's not a correction. I've had time to rethink it. It's not a correction, but when I made the original motion to automatic supplement budgets with hail proceeds, I left Milo's vehicle out. So we just need another motion to do an automatic supplement to Milo's budget for the repairs on his vehicle that the insurance paid.
I'll make that
We
motion.
have motion by Van Duzen, second by Gable. Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign, motion carries. There we go, we got that done. Number 12, action to authorize the weed supervisor to request proposals from local dealers for a vehicle. Man, we're loading up with new vehicles, huh? What we got, Steve?
Well, in 2018, I have budgeted for a new vehicle, and I'm looking at a crew cab, 3/4 ton. I would like to go and have it request to have local dealers to get proposals from there. The state bid is already out for 2018, so I already know about what range they are in, and if the state bid is lower, I will take the state bid also. So.
What is the state bid?
State bid, I believe, is right now base is 29,000, I think 800 and something.
We won't hold you
Yeah,
to that.
yeah,
Just approximately.
yeah, approximately. There are two. There actually Ford and Dodge right now is on the state bid. It's about $800 more for a Ford. So
All right, you heard his request. Is there a Waterman, a motion by Waterman to approve the request? Is there a second?
Second that?
A second by Hatton. Any more discussion?
And this is just a motion to
yeah, just
ask for
for bids.
proposals,
Proposals.
not permission to
Not
purchase.
proposals, really bids. Proposals, not bids.
All right.
Yeah,
Yep.
yep.
This is filling out your wish list, right?
Yes, and if it is accepted for next year, and so that my pickup will be transferred to the highway shop. It will go to one of the outer shops from there and stuff, so.
How many miles is your existing pickup?
77,000, I believe it is about.
Has some life left in it.
What year is that?
2006.
2006.
That's just a standard.
Just a standard cab, yep, with a long box. So.
All right, you've heard the request, and we have a motion and a second. Any more discussion? All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign, motion carries. All right, Steve, go
Thanks,
shopping.
Steve.
All right, number 13, they're not up here, right?
Well, that,
Oh,
This,
we can-
that's
no,
a different one.
we can
That's,
do-
that's Lee Gable's.
We can do that, baby, can't we?
yeah, we can talk.
All right, discussion, possible action to approve a lease for office space for the nurse's office. Now, go ahead, Lee.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Chairman. So this is part of the result of the courthouse remodel, so having to move offices around. And as a result, one of the offices that needs to move is the nurse's office, which would move out of the courthouse. I thought I might have the lease ready, but it's just been reviewed by the state's attorney. So now we have to probably, because of agenda item 5, probably wait a little bit on that. But the rough cost of the space that we're looking at is about $1,700 a month. The move date would probably be March or April, more likely April of next year. So just for everybody's awareness, but that's in the works. The space would have more square footage than the current nurse's office does now, and then it's in the Uptown area. So before saying where it is, I'd rather have the lease all ready to go.
So you want to delay it till next
Yeah,
week?
but just
Is
for-
next
if
week,
any-
or
yeah.
actually a couple of
Yeah.
weeks, or what do you want?
Yeah, probably next week, just whenever it's ready, Mr.
Okay,
Chairman.
we'll put it on the agenda for next
Yeah,
week.
probably will. And then just to let everybody know, I've been as a result of the discussion about agenda item number 5, which would include not just talking about the nurses, but also one of the, I guess it's the Office of Disease Control or that's basically the name of it, from the Department of Health, talking about adding them to that space. I've been in discussion with the Department of Health, so if we were to rent this new space that I'm talking about it's roughly 2,400 square feet, that would be adequate, according to the person I talked to at the Department of Health. So we'll see how that conversation goes, but
All right.
space-wise, it looks like it would work either way.
Let's go right on to 14. Lee, you
Yep.
can take care of that. That's discussion possible action to approve
Yep.
a lease with the Watertown Park and Rec for the use of office space in the city auditorium
Yeah.
for the welfare office and the veterans service office.
So,
Share.
yeah, so Mr. Chairman, Commissioner Hanton and I have been working on this one with the Park and Rec folks. We had a good meeting where we nailed down the bits and pieces of the lease, and the cost would only probably be in the area of $250 a month, maybe a little bit more for
How much did you say?
about $250 a month, something like that. The idea is the city just wants us to cover the difference caused to the utility bill by our presence over there.
So we won't be paying the utility bill direct, they will?
Be to the city.
Okay.
To the city, as I understand it. So, and that's been, so the city attorney has looked at the lease. I just got it to the state's attorney last night. So it's probably another one we need to delay on, but it looks like that's in the works. And again, the move date would probably be about the same time as the nurse's office, April timeframe next year. So, but the Park and Rec has been very helpful, and it seems to be kind of a win-win. We get some office space that's close to the courthouse. It's plenty adequate square footage wise, and they get some use of somebody's in the auditorium and present most of the time, most of the work hours. So that's
All right, we'll move that to next week, so we have a contract in front of us to look at.
Yep.
And if you can get a copy of it to us ahead of time, I'd
Yep, I will.
appreciate it. Thank
Definitely.
you.
Yep.
All right, let's go on to number 15 then, and that's again the update on
Yeah, just,
CCJ.
Yeah,
See?
thank you, Mr. Chairman. I just put that on the agenda because I wanted to make sure we covered things between when we saw the architects last week. So we had a CCJAC meeting last week, Tuesday evening, and just to update everybody, it was mostly a discussion meeting. The architects continued that discussion that they had with us, describing the courthouse remodel, both for an additional jury courtroom and the remodel of the clerk of court space. Between the meeting with us commissioners and the CCJAC, they had some really interesting meetings with all the users, the judges, the clerk of courts. We also had the Third Circuit Court Administrator up from Brookings, fire inspector, and Milo and the historical preservation folks, and all those were very productive discussions. But some changes did come out of that. So from what you saw, the initial sketches that the architect showed on the screen up there, some changes, like put this over there, could we work this over this way? So I think it's going to be, the process is in the works. So the next meeting for the CCJC is the 18th of December at 6:10 again. That's going to be at LATI once again. So 18 December.
It's a Monday night
It's a Monday night. Yeah,
instead of a
so-
Tuesday.
Yeah, so when you get into the holidays, people's schedules get weird, so.
Okay,
but
thank you, Lee.
Yep.
Let's go on to number 16, action to approve personnel changes. And I have at least 3 here in your packet. You should have copies of them. Is that correct, Cindy?
Yeah, there are 3. The first one is Janet Beavers. She is the deputy treasurer. She'll go to step 10, $22.30 an hour. This is her anniversary step increase. Barb Maxwell is legal secretary in the state's attorney's office. Her anniversary step increase will be step 11, $18.77 an hour. And Sherry Howell, the emergency management secretary, is due her anniversary step increase to step 5, $16.63 per hour.
I have a motion by Van Duzen, second by
I'll second.
Gable. Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign, motion carries. We have at least one travel request, and that's a copy in your packet.
From the weed supervisor, Steve Mollengraft, and the purpose of the travel is the Van Diest year end in Sioux Falls.
Move to approve
I have a
that.
motion by Hanton, second by
Second.
Waterman. Any discussion? All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign, motion carries. No one from the nursing area has come up yet. All right, let's go on to old business. Any old business? Any mature business?
I have several things in regards to our Sioux Valley Commissioners meeting, which will be November 29th. I did some checking as far as a meal. I guess we have a decision on this. For $11, we would have one meat, which would be beef tips, mashed potatoes, corn, pasta salad, water, and coffee. Now, $11 is what we ask for registration. That's typically what that is. So if we want to add a meat to that, if you have chicken, it's $13. If you add honey ham, it's $12. So that would be an addition. I did talk to Cindy, and I mean, this is typical. We've done this before, but I guess it's up to you guys. We would go over the $11 registration fee. We have that in Commissioner's contingency to cover.
No, it's just in your budget.
Okay,
It's
so-
in your commissioner's budget.
Anyways, we are able to cover that, but what is the rest of the board's thoughts? Add a second meat? Generally, they do have, but
After attending the volunteer dinner the other night, and I know they had chicken and beef tips on there, I thought it was nice to have some people just don't eat red meat.
right.
It's a
So-
choice. Yeah, it's a choice for those that, yeah.
So I would be in favor of that. I guess I just don't know what the rest of you feel like. If
Yeah.
Okay, all right. I will do that, and I do have Carla Roby lined up to do the afternoon snacks, which she always does a wonderful job, so
All right,
takes care of that.
thank you. Anything else?
Seems like there's, oh, okay, yes. Something that we've kind of had on the back burner for some time, the Julius property. You know, he requested for us to help him out. I don't have any hard facts yet as far as what the move would be. He had mentioned about, helping with cement slab. Before I even go that route, do we want to entertain that? I mean, just find out what it is, or
For clarification, this is the shed.
the shed?
On
He
the
wanted,
property next
he
to Cook
wondered,
Complex.
yes, since it was kind of not his error, and if we would be willing to help move that over onto his other property, so.
Did we get an opinion from the state's attorney?
I
about
did
that?
have, and I guess it's kind of, yeah, We can do it, but I guess you're setting a precedence in a way too.
Yeah, I'm uncomfortable with that, so, yeah.
One thing, if we do, it's going to be setting a precedence, and someone will come back later and say, well, you did it for that person, you need to do it for me, and so think about that before you make a motion.
And it's not on,
It's
it's
not
just
on the
discussion.
agenda.
I just
Okay.
thought there's no point of,
All right, just for
Going into
discussion
it.
then.
Yep.
All right. Anything else? Charlie,
Mr. Chairman, we've got Mr. Van Well here.
I'm going to leave that for the open, okay?
Okay,
All
I
right.
just didn't know when to bring it up.
Anything else? How about new business? Any new business to bring before the board today?
Mr. Chairman, just for everybody's awareness, there is a Stepping Up initiative, so that's the mental health in the jail initiative, and that is at 1 o'clock on Friday, so in here.
In here?
So,
all are welcome to come.
yeah, it's public, it's open to public, so,
In here?
yeah. Well, if they want to sit and watch it, but yeah, we just.
Okay, nobody's reserved the room. What
Oh,
time?
really? I think it's in, oh, I'm sorry, no, it's at, I take that back, it's at the police station.
Okay,
So,
all right.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that's Sarah Peterson's one, I'm just passing it on, Sarah Peterson's the one coordinating that, so.
1 o'clock, you said?
Beg your pardon?
1 o'clock?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, anything else? All right, open. We do have a gentleman here that would like to address the commission. Jerry, Charlie Jerry's in Charlie's district and has been communicating with Jerry. So why don't you introduce the situation and introduce Jerry? Jerry, would you please come forward and tell us who you are and
Come on up,
make
Jerry,
certain we can get you on camera?
and speak directly into the microphone, please.
This is Mr. Jerry Van Well, lives about 10 miles west of Watertown on 212.
Good morning.
I don't know, I feel like a turkey out of place here for some reason or another, but I got this notice in the mail that we moved the trailer house in at the farm. And that wasn't the biggest issue, but when I got the bill for compliance, auto compliance, or not notifying the county or some dumb thing, I think is way out of line for the price. They said because I didn't apply for it before we moved it in, the prices are double. And that really took me by surprise. And the first conditional use permit is for $200. And according to what Luke told me at the county agent office, that we're 100 feet too short of a half a mile from the bird feedlot. And I argued that point because the feedlot is 500-600 feet west of the point where he measured, because where he said was a feedlot, that's their cabin pasture, what they use about 30 days out of the year. So I didn't feel that was right.
So if I understand this correctly, they're calling the pasture an extenuation of the feedlot.
Right.
An extended feedlot, which is about 10 months out of the year completely vacant.
Right.
Okay.
Right. What he's calling the feedlot is the cabin pasture, which not a feedlot, it's a cabin pasture. So in that words, if we would exclude that 105 or 10 feet that he said, there wouldn't be no cost to it at all. We wouldn't even have to have that conditional use permit. So that's that problem. And then I don't know what this variance is, what all that takes in. That's a $500 bill, which is 200, which double because I didn't get permission before I put it in there. Okay, this where we put the trailer house in, we had a trailer house in there back in 69 to 73, if I believe. And then again, in 89 to 91, we had a trailer house in there. So I feel it was there before, so what did I do wrong? And I wasn't notified that I couldn't do it, but I'm getting jeopardized $700 and something dollars. That's what I'm here for.
Excuse me, Jerry. What the other commissioners might like to know is this is for your grandson to live in?
Right.
And he is going to be involved in the farming operation, is that correct?
Right.
And part of these fees are because of the trailer is 2 years older than what it states in the ordinance?
Right, that's what I've been informed anyway, that it's over 15 years old. If it wouldn't have been, if it was a newer trailer, then that wouldn't have been a cost either, so it's a double whopper.
And Luke said to come and talk to us, and we were, as a board, could relinquish those fees if we so desired.
Right, that Luke informed me to talk to you guys and see what goes on. I didn't feel that this was right.
So not to interrupt you again, Jerry, but the total amount that you're asking for, the total reduction in fees that you're asking for,
$732.80.
and that's half of the total?
No, that's the total amount, but just like the conditional use permit, I don't think should be there at all. Because of the cabin pastures can't be considered as a feedlot.
Mr. Van Well, what was the fee on the conditional use permit that you're speaking of?
$200,
Okay.
which originally would have been $100 if I would have applied for this before we put the trailer house in.
Mr. Chairman, I would suggest that we have the zoning officer and the state's attorney take a look at this, and then if we need to put it on the agenda for action, and in a coming meeting, maybe we should do that. And
I also was wondering, wouldn't this be addressed at the planning and zoning meeting?
Yeah, it
With that
probably should come through the planning and zoning with a recommendation to the board. And we have a planning and zoning board meeting,
Next Monday.
yeah. So next Monday, we have a meeting.
Because just like the other day when I stopped and gave these to Luke, I was gonna pay this, but he told me not if I was gonna talk to you guys to see
Sure.
what you guys are gonna
Yeah.
do. If I owe it, I'll pay it, but I don't feel this is legitimate.
Right.
Well, let's do this.
Do a little research.
To make certain that we cover our trail and we leave no question. I'll talk to Luke, we'll put it on the planning and zoning board agenda. The planning and zoning board will discuss it, and at that point, I would request a recommendation from them to the commission board, and we'll put it on the agenda for next week here. How's that? Is that good enough? Does everybody agree with that?
Okay with that?
I don't think we need any motions. I think we just have an agreement that that's what we'll do, okay?
Right.
Yeah, that'd be
And
fine.
we'll see if we can help you out, all right?
Yeah, thank you.
In parting, Mr. Chairman, and Jerry, I could see where I can follow your thinking. You had one there before, twice before, so it's not like it's a blatant attempt to try to circumvent the law.
Right.
Right.
That's right.
And
And,
maybe some of those regulations may have changed as far as the year of the mobile homes and that sort of thing, that they take into account when they're doing that. Not realizing what's in our ordinances, so. We do have specifications on the years, typically.
And I'm very familiar with the terrain out there, so I understand when he's talking about a cabin pasture. I know exactly what he's talking about. I know exactly where it's at. In fact, I think I fixed the fence there once upon a time, so.
And the majority of the time, they sit there and the pheasants run out there and you recuperate them, and it's a handy place to have it. That's otherwise, you wouldn't use it, but thank you for coming in this morning.
Appreciate you
Thank
coming in,
you.
Jerry, though, and we'll
follow
can you
up.
come back next week? Come about 9:30. You don't have to be here at 8:45.
Okay.
9:30, and we'll get you on. All right.
Thank you all.
Well, maybe you'll be
Thank
first
you.
on the agenda next week.
Thanks, Jerry.
Is this
Thank you.
Thank you, Jerry.
Is this yours, Jerry? Is this yours? There's some more paper.
Mr. Van Well, is that yours? Do you want to call the nurse?
Is someone from the nursing department supposed to come up?
I may have some,
If not, we do have a request for an executive session.
I may have some things for the open as far as quorums of commissioners.
All right.
One being Thursday night farmers business and banquet. And stepping,
That's this Thursday?
I have it down for this Thursday.
Okay.
I don't know, don't we usually get the tickets, or am I wrong on that?
Yeah, I was gonna say,
Yeah, it's this Thursday, I'm pretty sure.
I have not heard anything about tickets. Yeah, they usually
Yeah.
send you complimentary tickets.
Yeah.
Nobody
Because we
has,
let them know, so.
I'm sorry.
but they have not contacted me. What?
What's Thursday night?
Farmers Business and Banquet,
Okay.
yeah. And that would be at, I don't have a time, I guess, 'cause it's
Nobody
like off
has
the ticket.
contacted me about tickets.
I'll get a hold of the chamber. I'll find out. Stepping Up Initiative, like Lee said, and of course, Planning and Zoning Monday morning, but that's typically on their agendas, so just cover our bases. Other than that, I don't have anything else.
Festival of Trees is,
Oh, Saturday night, or Friday
I think
night.
it's Friday night. I want to say
Friday
Friday
night.
night. And then there's, I can't remember, there's a Beacon Center thing next week, but I can't remember the date of. I wanna
Yeah,
say-
that's, I thought we can cover that next week
Okay,
on
that's right,
Tuesday.
yeah, you're right, okay, yeah.
All right,
let's,
that's all I have.
let's see,
Go into
back
exec.
up one time. When is the Farmer Businessman Banquet?
Thursday.
I'm not, yeah, it's Thursday.
But that's Thanksgiving, the
No,
23rd.
the 16th.
Oh, the
on this
16th?
week.
Okay, I had 1 week ahead.
Actually, I can check here, I can pull it up. But yeah, it's, I'm pretty sure it's this Thursday,
While
like,
you guys are in executive session, I will try and get a hold of them, yeah. Yeah.
Okay,
Starts about 6:30, I believe.
I was thinking,
Where is
yeah,
that at?
out at the
Extension
extension.
Extension building?
In the classroom over there?
no, it's
No.
about 1,100 people, so it fills up the whole two
Oh,
north
okay,
buildings.
okay.
Well, the middle building, anyway.
Farmers Businessman Appreciation Banquet, November 16th at 6:30.
Thank you, Jerry.
So that is, it is this Thursday at 6:30 PM.
All right.
So,
The only other thing,
oh,
go ahead.
no, that's it. I was just going to make a motion to go into exec.
The only other thing, it won't be a quorum of commissioners here, but I do, this afternoon, we do have another meeting in reference to that calf show, which is the November 25th. So if you hear some rumbling out there, it's in reference to trying to park 200 pickups and stock trailers out there, as well as a hockey event going on.
I as well have LEPC at noon and ICAP tomorrow.
And, what's that?
You'll have vouchers to sign too.
Yes.
All right,
So,
so I'll make a motion that we go into executive
Second.
session,
And we're going in executive session,
personnel 1 and 4, contract
number
negotiations.
1 and number 4. Satterley, Mr. Satterley is going to share with us in reference to contracts with unions and personnel, number 4 with Hampton. All right.
Mr. Chairman, will
Sir.
there be any business after the,
As far as I know, there will
Well,
not be any business,
Possibly
We
but
have the
the
nurse-
nurses haven't been.
Well, the
here yet.
nurse-
Possibly number 5 on the
Yeah.
agenda.
Yeah.
So, possibly.
You want to
I'll stop this.
ring their bell?
Try and get a hold of them while you're in executive.
Nurses-
Thank you.
You want to call the chamber also then, about the tickets?
We vote on that?
Okay, otherwise I can take care of
Vote on
that.
the going.
Myron,
Are
we
in
need to vote on the
session?
executive session.
Yeah.
All in favor indicate by saying aye.
aye? Now we are.
Who made the motion?
Brenda and I said.
Brenda made the motion, Van Dusen made seconded. You catch that, Cindy?